Hey, this is Jeff again with Evolve Adventures, ReGuideService.com, ReIGUIDESERVIC.com. Want to do a real quick video and talk about tools in your toolkit. One of the things that I've found over the years that has helped me out quite a bit is having a record of everything. Keeping track of who it is that I talk to, what properties I go look at, what kind of trades I speak with, different sources for getting materials and different sources for getting lenders, any of those types of things. I have, I think, something like 7,000 contacts in my phone. I know that's a lot, but most of those I never use. It's a one-time type of thing. You know, I called someone, I talked to them, I spoke to them. Even if the deal was handled, I put in the notes. I'll give you an example, actually, real time, of one time that helped me. Years ago, there was a lady that I found her purse in the dumpster, and it was a construction dumpster, so you know we have to go through and make sure that there's not certain materials and just kind of give it a look or whatever. And I saw this purse. I saw there was still stuff in it from that. Looked like it was one of those things where it had been ditched. I called the lady because there was a business card in the purse. They came and got it or whatever. Put all of her information in my phone. She worked for the City of Houston. Years later, I had an issue in the City of Houston. I contacted her. Problem solved. I didn't even mention the fact that I was that guy with the purse. Never even brought it up because it was just the contact for the person that I needed. It just happened to be that person that I needed within the city. So I didn't really need to mention it because they were doing their job, and so therefore we were all good. And so I think one of the things to keep in mind is with keeping track of all this type of information, you know, names, addresses, you pull up to a property and you write down, you know, what all it is that you did for that property, whether you tried to make an offer on the property, whether you actually did submit an offer, if it was refused, if you got estimates on it. All that kind of information is really going to help you down the road. Let's say if you find another house in that same neighborhood and you didn't do that one, but you have all the estimates and all of the comps and everything else from that previous property. Well, that's going to help you. That just saved you a bunch of time. And time is one of the most valuable assets that we have in this business or in any business or in life in general. It is the most valuable thing on this planet for us individually. It is both not real and very real at the same time. You only have a limited amount of time to accomplish the things that you're going to accomplish in life. And so if you can do things that are going to help save you time, having a journal is one of those big ones. Making sure that you have all the contacts from your past, making sure that you understand, you know, who you can get a hold of, what that quick connection is. And in today's day and age where there's a lot of computer automated systems that will put you through to this person or forward you there or, you know, talk to customer service. If you have the actual real person, real information to get a hold of real people, that's an amazing asset that a lot of people don't even consider. And keeping track of that through a journal, through records, is very, very important. You know, a lot of people talk about it through marketing, have mailing lists and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. That's great. The reality is once you're in the business, if you're in the business of just marketing to people, having a giant mailing list is great, right? But if you're in the business of trying to get things done, having a giant list of contacts that you have the information about them, what it is that they do within the departments that they do them, where they are, all that kind of stuff. You have pricing for flooring in certain neighborhoods broken down. It just becomes something that is a massive, massive time saver, a massive, massive asset. And I don't think that enough people really keep track of that kind of thing. And I mean, if you have 4 or 5 people that bid a job for you and you only hire one of them, but 2 or 3 did a good job of bidding for you, you want to be able to go back and get those people to bid other jobs for you in the future. So keep track of who those people are. Keep track of what kind of numbers they gave you, what your feeling is on them. Maybe if you're trying to do business with someone, keep track of, like, if they tell you they have kids, if they tell you in their sports, they're really into certain kinds of food. All those kinds of things are interesting. You know, they can help remind the person of why they know you or like you or something. But the reality is it should help you, because when I read my notes, I think, oh, okay, I remember this person now. I remember our conversation now. Okay, I remember who they are. And I can really have that mental connection. And when I really have that mental connection to who that person is, I can then reach out to them in a real way and really have a positive conversation where I'm not just faking things to try to get something out of them. And so that's the reason that I like to journal and write down day in and day out what it is that I'm doing. I have, this isn't a prop, I would have made it look nicer and not drop stuff. Oh, look, there's that washing machine thing I was looking for. These are my notes right there, right? Like, I think it's important that daily you keep track of what it is that you're doing so that you can, make sure that you are keeping track of what needs to be kept track of. You're touching base on things that need to be touched base with, and you're supposed to be writing down your goals and checking every day to see if your behaviors are matching your goals anyway. So keeping track is just really a form of accountability. It's also a reference. It's also, if as you get bigger and bigger, you're going to have to hire more and more people. And if you're writing down how you're doing these processes, how you're accomplishing these goals, then you can pass that information on to someone easily because you've taken care to keep track of how it is that you've built this business, both failures and successes. So that whenever it comes time to bring on different partners and they say, you know what we should do, we should try out this thing right over here, you can say, well, I've actually tried that out in the past. And this is when it happened, in 2017, in August, we actually tried to procure a property that way, and this is what the things that happened negatively. I'm not saying we can't try to procure a property that same way again. I'm saying that these are the things that we lacked based on the recollection of the notes that I kept, the things that I found that were important. So you're really just helping yourself. You can't come back from the future and tell yourself, what the lottery numbers are to make yourself successful. But what you can do is you can properly document what you're doing to find success and failures day in and day out, so that then you can reference that, because your past really has a lot more information than you can recall. You've experienced things, you've felt things, intuitions, or those are a lot of times your brain just pushing you to go, hey, remember, you've been through some shit like this before. And if you have a journal, if you have notes, not only has it been proven that writing things down helps you remember them better, but you also have a physical thing that you can go back and look at. Now, I'm not a person that can really do a whole lot of that on phone. I keep very basic notes on my phone of the people that I'm talking to, so when my phone rings, I can look at the notes and know who it is, and I'll be like, who is this? But I do keep very detailed notes. I have a lot of legal pads. I have a lot of it, but I keep them in order so that I know whenever I need to go back and look and someone says, this happened last August, I can say, oh, okay, cool. Or, this past April, you guys were on this project, and I can, okay, let me check that out for you. And then I can go through my notes and look. And organization is really important, and having a documentation to go along with the documents. It's not just the documents, but it's the notes. Has saved me a lot of times. And so, anyway, I think that's enough on why a journal is important, why documenting everything is important. I hope you're blessed. I hope you bless others. ReGuideService.com, ReiguideService.com. If there's anything I can do, any questions you have, any answers I can provide, I will try to do my best. And if I can't, I will try to refer you to someone that can. Later, skaters.